Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome back to the channel. It's Megan, the Healing Foods Coach, also known as the Faithful Fibromyalgia Warrior. You will notice I have made a slight change to the name of my channel. It is now called Megan, the Healing Foods Coach, because that is what I do. That is what I'm doing and helping as many of you as are interested. I am still a Faithful Fibromyalgia Warrior, but Healing Foods Coach just seemed to be a better fit. So if you noticed a change, that was me. It was on purpose, not to worry. Today's video. So I was trying to decide what to talk about today. And my husband actually gave me this fantastic suggestion, which is what I'm going to run with. And it is the following. Really? No vegetables? That's the title of this video. And the reason why is because that is one of the most common questions I get asked when I tell people what I'm eating or what I no longer eat. Now, let me just be clear, okay? If you are eating vegetables that are low carb, and therefore what you would perhaps eat on a ketogenic diet protocol or a low carb diet approach, there's nothing wrong with that. There is not. I'm not talking all the potatoes and all the grains and plants and things like that. I'm talking about the starchier vegetables like carrots and beans and peas and potatoes primarily. Okay, sweet potato or plain. I'm talking about we need to all cut back on the fries and all the carby, starchy things that we eat. I think we can all agree to that. Whatever part of this diet spectrum we fall into, whether we call ourselves carnivore, keto, low carb, or something else completely in between, if we are trying to follow a proper human species appropriate diet, I think we can all agree that cutting out the starchy things are absolutely a good way to start. Now, the reason I say that is because I personally don't eat vegetables. I don't. I miss them. Tonight, I made up some sausages, and then I did a cheesy omelet for my husband and son. And I added in some sauteed mushrooms and onions. And you know what? It smelled amazing. I wish I could enjoy mushrooms and onions. I love the smell of onions when they're being sauteed or when they're cooking in a dish. I love that smell. It's just, unfortunately, I'm one of those people that has a super sensitive gut. And if I eat anything like onions or garlic or broccoli or cauliflower or asparagus or even avocado, it sends my IBS into a flare up like nobody's business. And so that's why I don't eat them. I miss them. I used to love enjoying, say, sausages or some chicken breast with asparagus on the side with butter. I miss being able to eat broccoli or cauliflower with a nice cheese sauce over top. I miss those things. I do. I really do miss them. And I can't pretend as if I never enjoyed them, because I did. So if you are somebody who is trying to eat a healthier, healing diet, and you do not have any sort of gut issues or intolerances, feel free to keep eating low carb vegetables. And even, for a few weeks every year when they're in season, enjoy some berries if you want. That is not going to necessarily affect your health negatively. So when people ask me, no veggies, it's because I literally cannot. I am allergic to garlic, but as far as the other vegetables are concerned, unfortunately, I simply can't tolerate them. My gut is not happy when I eat them at all. I miss them. Like I said, I would love to be able to enjoy a really beautiful ribeye steak with some sauteed mushrooms on the side. or some fried onions, or to have ground beef or a burger patty with mushrooms and maybe some cheese and onions on top. I would love to be able to eat that. I have, so I know what it tastes like. Unfortunately, I really can't tolerate any of that. I don't tolerate plants in my diet. I don't. And there are times when I long for those moments. I don't give in because I know for me it's not worth it. But if you are lucky enough to be able to still enjoy the low carb vegetables that are out there, I'm so jealous. And so I wanted to make this video, first of all, to make it clear that I am not against people who want to eat some vegetables. Now, as I said in the beginning, obviously I'm referring to the low carbohydrate vegetables. I'm not talking about the highly starchy ones, because those are going to spike your blood glucose, raise your insulin, and that's going to keep your body holding on to more excess fat and weight on your body when that happens. So when we are looking to lose weight, when we are looking to lose weight, when we are looking to improve our focus, our mental clarity, our overall levels of energy, we need to get out the starchy foods. We need to get out the starchy carbs, whether they are vegetables or starchier fruit. Okay, we need to get that stuff out of our diets. The 3 keys to successfully losing weight and keeping it off, improving our mood, improving our energy, improving our mental clarity and focus and overall well-being. In order to achieve all of those things, there are 3 key things we need to do. We need to reduce our carbohydrates, particularly getting rid of the starchy ones. We need to eliminate sugar, and we need to avoid junk food. And I think regardless of where we find ourselves fitting in on this animal-based diet spectrum, or I'm going to try to start calling it what it is, which is an anti-inflammatory healing diet, okay? Which absolutely can include, for a lot of people, non-starchy vegetables, a couple of fistfuls worth a day. I'm not saying you eat loads and loads of this stuff. You still want to keep your total carbohydrate intake to under 50 grams a day total. If you are trying to follow a much more keto approach, then you'd be looking at keeping it at about 20 grams of carbs maximum per day. Now, obviously, everyone is slightly different. If you are, if you are doing a lot of physical exercise and intense training, you can probably get away with a little bit more carbohydrates and still feel fantastic. Okay, but generally speaking, 20 grams of carbs a day total or less. That means you are absolutely welcome to eat, non-starchy vegetables. That can include things like spinach, avocado, kale, tomatoes for some people if you enjoy those, onions and garlic, and there's some others. Those are the most common ones people seem to go to. These are also all plant materials that are especially notorious for causing gas and bloating, and are a worst nightmare for those of us who have IBS, IBD, SIBO, and other gut-related issues. And so we generally have to avoid those things like the plague, which is what I do. But just because I don't eat plants does not mean you can't. And if you enjoy them and you feel great when you're eating them, and they're helping you find the transition to a much healthier, healing diet, something you can sustain, then keep doing it. Just because you enjoy sauteed mushrooms with your steak, or you want to have your spare ribs with some broccoli on the side and a bit of cheese, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Not at all. Please continue. If you feel great, if it is helping you, if it is healing you, and you feel amazing, and you are achieving the things you set out to, which if you're in this space, it's probably to lose weight, water, and body fat. You're looking to improve mental clarity. You are looking to improve your overall energy levels and just your overall well-being and focus. If you are consuming those low carb vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, and you are still achieving all those other things, then there's no need to stop. The freedom I found with eating this way is that when I realized that fruits were especially bad for me, those high levels of fructose and glucose in the fruits played a huge part in me developing super high levels of triglycerides and fatty liver disease. And any diabetic will tell you the first thing they're asked to do is not just monitor their carbohydrates as far as non-fruit carbs, could be all the processed stuff too, but to also really significantly cut back on or cut out fruit because it's spiking their blood sugar. So that's kind of a give me, right? Is that we need to watch our glucose levels. But if you are finding you are thriving because you enjoy bacon and eggs and, I don't know, some sauteed mushrooms to go with it, or some fried tomato, like a full English breakfast, enjoy. I wish I could. I used to eat those things. I love the taste of those things. It's just, unfortunately, within seconds of it passing my mouth, my gut is in disarray and it is rebelling and angry and upset with me, which is why I don't eat those things. For me. But if you don't have those issues and you want to enjoy them, please enjoy them. Doesn't mean you are not following a good, healthy, human, species-appropriate diet. Do we require dietary carbohydrates in order to thrive? No, we don't. Because our bodies can make all the glucose it needs through gluconeogenesis in order to provide that for the brain. However, if you enjoy a little bit of dietary glucose through non-starchy vegetables, go ahead. Not that you need my permission. Okay, let me be clear. Not that you need my permission. I just want to put it out there that those foods, although they are hurtful to me, can be very healing to other people. And I realize that that could perhaps be misunderstood or misconstrued because I've said many, many times I don't eat plants. And it's not because I don't like them, and it's not because I don't sometimes miss them and long for them. I do. I really do. It's just I don't tolerate them. And I'm not willing to put up with the consequences afterwards. But if you do well with them and you're enjoying them and they are helping you thrive, eat them. Eat them, enjoy them to your little heart's content. Again, keeping in mind that you still want to overall keep your total daily carbs to somewhere between, say, 20 and 60 grams a day maximum, depending on your activity levels, what you do for work. If you're mostly sedentary, if you're moving a lot, if you're exercising regularly, if you're doing intense training, then your need may be for slightly more. And that's okay. You are still overall following a proper human species appropriate diet, or what I'm going to now refer to as a healing diet. If you have IBS or IBD or Crohn's or colitis or celiac or any of the many myriad of gut issues, then you may want to consider removing plants, all of them, especially the grains, especially the cereals, and the starchy carbs like potatoes and corn. You will probably want to consider removing those for a time when you first start out, okay? Because it will likely help your gut to heal. You can always choose, if you so decide, to try reintroducing these things later on once you've had some healing. But I would suggest that you probably want to get rid of all the plant materials, maybe except for herbs and spices when you season your food. It depends on how sensitive your gut is, how many intolerances you may have, all of that type of thing. Okay. And again, everybody's different. It's a case by case thing. But in general, I do not have an issue with people who want to eat occasional vegetables. Now, I would suggest, obviously, that they stick to the non-starchy, low-carb options if they are trying to lose weight, clear up brain fog, improve their clarity, and improve their overall energy and just stamina. Probably avoid the starchy ones completely. But of course, it's for you guys to decide. And somebody may have a little bit of tiny bit of sweet potato once a week and feel fine. And so you know what? That works for them. I not to judge. If that is working for them truly, and they are feeling as good as possible, then they can carry on doing that. So it was kind of a long, I appreciate this is a bit of a long roundabout way of answering the question. Really? No vegetables? I do not, but that's only because I don't tolerate them. Not because I don't like them. Not because I don't wish I could enjoy them. As I said already, I wish I could tolerate spinach. And well, maybe not spinach. It's high in oxalates, but I wish I could tolerate things like asparagus and avocado. I wish I could enjoy sauteed onions and mushrooms with my meat. I really do. I miss those things. But I personally don't eat them because they have such a negative effect on me. So I am going to just leave with this thought, which is whether we want to call ourselves a carnivore, a keto person, a low carb person, whatever label we want to give ourselves. And I understand in this day and age, it's really hard to say what we are or the diet we follow or the lifestyle we're choosing to imitate and follow without explaining what we eat or don't eat. It's hard to do that without a label. Okay. I kind of like to think of myself as a carnivore by default. I would have stayed keto and I probably would have had great healing, except that I don't tolerate plants because of my IBS. And other than butter, I cannot have milk or dairy products because I have lactose intolerance. So I'm a carnivore by default. Maybe that'll be a new category, carnivore by default. And wherever you most feel like you fit in, it's all still part of the big spectrum that is a species appropriate diet for human beings, where 70% or more of what we eat has come from an animal source. And that can be beef or lamb or poultry or pork or fish or seafood. Anything in there qualifies. And if you are also able to enjoy some full fat dairy like cheese or heavy cream or full fat milk in your coffee, good for you. Seriously. I miss that. I miss those things. Not worth the suffering I would go through if I had them, but I enjoyed them. That's why I consumed them, right? But I think, as mentioned a bit earlier in this video, if we can focus on the things we agree on, which is we should all reduce our carbohydrate intakes. We eat far too many processed carbs, for sure, and starchy ones. We need to eliminate sugar, and that can include fruit, but that especially refers to the refined processed stuff that is just everywhere. And I think we can also agree that we need to avoid junk food. They don't benefit us in any way. So wherever you fall in the human diet spectrum, I think if we all can agree on those three key things, I think that's going to help everybody moving forward. So that was all. I just wanted to share this video with you guys. Thank you so much for your time and for your support. Thank you so much for all of your words of encouragement and your comments and your questions. And I really hope that you guys will continue to let me know how you're doing, how your journeys are going, what you're struggling with, what you've been successful in, what things you are removing or trying, all of it. I want to hear it all. So please let me know. And again, to remind you guys, I have some spaces available for my fall sessions with coaching. So if you go to the website, you can find all the details there. And if you're looking for some one-to-one support, I would be happy to help. Thanks, you guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I will be back with more content. Talk to you then. Bye for now.